Ben Francis said you did a really good job taking advantage of the big moments tonight, especially when obviously he's serving for the set in the first there. What do you feel like was the difference between you guys in a really pretty tight match, even though it was 2 sets?
Yeah, I think obviously this court does a lot for my serve. The ability to get the ball out of the zone is huge, especially against a guy like Foe who's so good in the pocket. And so my ability for my flat serves not only to be coming in at 145 but also kind of rising above his shoulders is huge. And second serve too, he usually he's one of the best in the world when he's locked in at attacking second serves and making you feel like you're on the back foot and taking the second serve and coming to the net. And my win percentage on second serve is probably the highest that it's ever been against him. So my aggressive brand of serving, and then I was willing to take chances on the return of serve, and I executed a lot. So I think that combination was kind of tough to deal with in these conditions.
Seems like you've been really striping the backhand this week, and especially tonight. Just how much improvement have you seen in that shot, and how important is that shot moving forward?
Yeah, I think I haven't been as focused on striping the backhand or hitting winners with it. That was kind of just a byproduct of getting into a really good rhythm today and mixing the slice and the topspin and not making too many unforced errors, hitting over the ball and having a consistent ball shape. Kind of gave me the confidence towards the end of the match to kind of up it a level, go a level up on the backhand. And for me, what I've been focusing on is the open stance backhand and defending out of the backhand corner with the two-hander, not with the slice. And that's where a guy like Foe eats me alive, usually, hooking the ball off the court to my backhand, knowing that I'm going to the slice, and then he can get in faster than anyone, knock off a volley. So the defensive backhand is what's been my main focus and goal for improvement, and the offensive one has just been a byproduct of that.
Ben, you just said that Francis is one of the best in the world when he's locked in. Did you feel he wasn't locked in tonight?
No, I definitely think that he's locked in. And he's one of those guys who can turn the switch on whenever he wants it. And you guys are seeing more and more weeks every year that he's playing his brand of tennis, really good tennis, and that's scary for the rest of the field. You know, he'll even say it himself. He used to be a guy who'd show up in the American hardcourt swing and a few other times throughout the year, and those would be his big moments. But the guy's making quarterfinals of Roland Garros now, and people are in trouble.
What was your game plan tonight versus at the U.S. Open the last time that you played Francis? Was it different? Did you approach it differently this match versus the match that you played at the U.S. Open last summer?
Yeah. Just a lot of things are different because of, the tools that I have, especially the way that I'm serving and how confidently I'm serving. The way I'm constructing my service game is different, but it's a more offensive mentality. If you set the tone early and beat the guy to the net, that's kind of been the theme. And the first time we played in the U.S. Open and when we played in Houston, I was at the net a billion times, coming in behind second serve, serving and volleying, and that was kind of how I set the tone. The second time we played at the U.S. Open, it was the opposite. And in the fourth and fifth set, he was coming in every single point and knocking off volleys and hitting sick volleys, putaways, and that's kind of been how our matches have gone. Whoever's more brave and executing on those, not necessarily going for broke from the baseline, but just taking the opportunity anytime there's a short ball or a second serve or serving volley on a wide serve. I think it's an important part of the type of tennis that we want to play, especially in the places we want to play it. Here, Cincinnati, really fast. Obviously, Foe's a joke there, and any fast hard court, he's very, very tough to play.
Hey, Ben, couldn't quite see what was going on with the trainer. Was it like a blister or something else with your finger?
I just had like a hangnail, and so I've been taping it up. And the tape just like rolls up sometimes, so I'm trying to find a glue that's strong enough so it doesn't roll up. It's just retaping.
And do you feel with your return game that maybe you're in a different place now than, I don't know, 6 months ago, a year ago, in terms of you get broken there, 6-5 in the first. He's now serving for the set, but the set's not over. You're giving yourself a chance to break back there.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, for me, I usually play my best return game, the game after I get broken. Like, that's when I dial it in, I put it all together, I'm a little bit pissed off, and I figure out how to get that break back. And obviously, if you just got the break, you're trying to hold on to something, you play a little bit attentive, and I think I'm pretty good at taking that opportunity and running with it. But for me, just the way that I feel on my return, how often I'm putting the return in the court, how aggressive and how much I'm accessing the back part of the court, getting depth. I felt like I had a lot of options tonight. I felt like I gave myself a lot of break chances. I could have broken more than I did. I thought he was really clutch a lot of times on the break point, and I wasn't quite as aggressive as I needed to be and step up in those big moments, which I was looking to do on that last point where I did get the break and he double faulted, and I think that was what I needed to do to actually break, but I was giving myself the chances over and over again.
We don't know who you play next because they're still on court, but if you play Taylor Fritz, or even if you don't play him, I'm just curious how much of a goal it is for you to catch him for the top American spot, because you guys are pretty close in the race now. I'm just wondering how much that's a goal, because he's been top the American ladder for many years in a row now.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got there last year as the top American. I was there for like 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah. How was it? How were those minutes for you?
It's just like, when you guys asked me how I felt in the top 10, I feel exactly the same. Especially being in the middle of the year. Like, I think end of year is goals for me. I can look at my full body of work and see where I'm at. The stuff in the middle of the year, the back and forth, it's always going to be there. I'm never really looking at points that are coming off or anything like that. That's a slippery slope. So, yeah, obviously, I pay attention to the race. I know where I want to be at the end of the year. But in terms of, I'm looking to beat Taylor in that spot right there, I can't say that that's something that I'm thinking about every day. I just want to be in contention for tournaments. I want to play my best tournament. I want to play my best tennis on the weekends. So, tomorrow and Sunday for sure. If I get there and I want to be in contention for big titles. So that's kind of where I'm at, giving myself a chance to be in those big tournaments. Hopefully being Turin at the end of the year, and then obviously the Grand Slams, and just stacking myself up against the best players in the world, and the more opportunities that you have to play guys in the top 10, play matches against guys like Foe, like Fritz, like Sinner and Alcaraz, but everyone in the top 10. Those experiences are really valuable.
It's fair to say that the top affair, your main short-term goal for this year, I guess, is Turin?
What'd you say?
Your main short-term goal for this year would be making it to top 8 to Turin?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
We only have time for 2 more, so we're going to do Baltimore Sun, then Washington Post.
Just chuck it.
Ben, you were talking about how you thought in that game in the second set when it was 3-3, Francis clutched up and was able to, save some of those break points. Just for you, what was the key to not getting frustrated in that moment, and what was the ultimate sense of relief once you were finally able to get that break in that moment?
Yeah, I just continue playing. I got some second serve looks on his game points, which I played freely and aggressive and was able to capitalize. And then, I played the deuce points well, but I was just trying to stay there and stay steady. Obviously, he's feeling the pressure. His back's against the wall, and I know how well I'm returning and playing in that moment. And so you know how much pressure you're putting on a guy when they have to save, 5 or 6 break points, and you're making every return, and they got to come up with the goods over and over, because I feel the same thing against him a lot. And the hand skills that he has, the way that he's able to take my return off the hop on the baseline, a 145-mile-an-hour serve, and put it at my feet is pretty silly. And I think that the way that I was returning tonight probably put similar type pressure. So I kind of took confidence in that and knew that if it wasn't that game, the way I was returning, I was going to give myself more looks later in the set and have chances to break. And the way I was serving, it was going to be tough to break me.
This is probably a terrible last question. When you're preparing for a big server, just thinking ahead to if you face Taylor tomorrow, but like, how do you guys replicate that in practice on tour? Do you just have a hitting partner, your coach, like rocket serves at you? Obviously, you can't kind of mimic exactly what Taylor does. So if someone's even preparing for you, like, how do you guys on tour get ready to play the giant servers?
You just move them up.
Yeah.
So instead of serving at the baseline, you serve halfway between the baseline and the service line. And my dad still has a pretty good arm when he does have to serve to me, but one of my old college teammates is traveling with me and hitting with me, warming me up, and he's got a pretty good arm too. So if you put him on the, halfway from the service line to the baseline, it feels like a 135, 140 coming at you. So that's kind of how I prepared for Diallo. And if I were to play Fritz, it's the same. But no matter if I'm playing a big server or a small server, I'm gonna have my guy serve from halfway up or quarter way up, whatever you want to call it, just so it's a little bit easier to hit spots and take out the net errors. And I don't know, I felt like that's the best way to try to replicate the serving that you see on tour. I mean, I don't know, from that mid point, it still feels like 120, 125. And he goes, no warm up. I'm like, put some bands or something, bro. Like, even like my shoulder feels cold, and he just like comes out there completely ice cold pizza right out of the fridge, and starts hitting it. And then every once in a while, I was like, I feel something on my shoulder. I'm like, bro, you're trying to serve 130, you didn't even warm up at all. So he still has a fat kicker though, great kick serve. But yeah, he still got it.